911, what is the location of your emergency?
It's Monday, February 24th. There's a crisis at the home of Sarah Boone, prompting her to call 911.
Is this a police or medical?
My boyfriend is dead.
Okay, send the line for the fire department. Do not hang up.
The fire department takes over the call, and for the next few minutes, officials are obtaining critical details about what happened.
No, tell me exactly what happened there.
My boyfriend and I were playing last night, and I put him in a suitcase and we were playing, and like kind of hide and seek kind of thing. So I fell asleep, and I woke up, and he was dead in the suitcase. So I don't know what happened.
Okay, is he hanging from somewhere or what, ma'am?
No, I pulled him out of the suitcase. I tried giving him CPR.
Fire and rescue instruct Boone on how to give chest compressions.
Just keep on pumping. That's all you need to do for me. Keep on pumping his chest for me. I don't need you to stop and talk or anything. I just want you to count out loud for me, okay?
31, 32. Please hurry.
Okay, man, they're getting there as fast as they can, okay?
He's stiff and he's purple.
EMS arrived within minutes and advised Boone that her boyfriend, Jorge Torres, had been down too long and there was nothing more they could do. Boone explained she and Torres were drinking the night before and thought it would be funny if he got inside of a suitcase for a game of hide and seek. The next day, deputies returned and arrested Boone and charged her with second-degree murder in Torres's death. Boone's story about a childhood game gone awry unraveled when investigators say they found video on her cell phone showing Boone taunting and laughing at Torres while he was struggling to get out of the suitcase. Police say he was yelling he couldn't breathe and asking Boone for help. According to police, Boone was captured on video saying, "That's what I feel like when you cheat on me." When confronted with the video, officers say she told them she didn't remember those moments. But to investigators, those moments add up to motive for second-degree murder. Wow. Joining us, criminal defense attorney Mark O'Mara. You recognize him and represented George Zimmerman several years ago. Mark, great to see you.
Great to see you, Vinny.
I want to start here with the hide-and-seek defense. As I recall, the rules are, and this is the way I used to play when I was a kid. I don't know what rules you played on down in Florida, but I would close my eyes and count, and then you would go hide. I wouldn't take you and hide you somewhere because then I would know where you were, therefore making the hide-and-seek not so much fun. I mean, this is ridiculous, isn't it?
It really was bizarre. You know, what's interesting is step backwards, which is why would this guy go into the suitcase voluntarily? Because we know he did. She could not have dumped him in the suitcase. We know that he was there. We know from the videos that he was sort of there intentionally. That takes away any of the suggestion of hide and seek. I don't know where that came from. The real issue in this case, of course, is one, how and why to get in there, but how she's going to explain away the damning evidence that's on the videos about the way she acted or reacted to his cries for help.
So legally, what does the judge do? What will the jury do with someone who says, we were drinking and I don't remember that, like I blacked out? Is that a defense?
Not much of one. If you really have what we call involuntary intoxication, meaning you didn't know you were getting the pills that you were taking and would make you intoxicated, but voluntary intoxication, which is out getting drunk or sitting at home getting drunk, is not an excuse for a crime. It may offer some explanation, but it's not going to be an excuse. I have a feeling that by the time this gets near a trial, it's not going to be a hide and seek defense as much as their history, the somewhat violent nature of their history is going to come sort of front and center.
Okay, but what happens in front of a jury? Because the jury, I guess, would probably hear that 911 call, right? I mean, if I'm a prosecutor, I'm putting that in, especially if the story's changing.
Oh, it's definitely coming in. It's at a high point because, as was mentioned, it sort of gives the jury, gives the state that ill will, that hatred that you need for second degree in Florida. The defense attorney is going to try and come up with whatever explanation he or she will. Part of it is going to get away from that ill will and hatred. Part of it's going to be, look, this is nothing more than negligent homicide, if that at all. We were drinking, we were drunk, we were playing a stupid game, whatever that stupid game was, and I fell asleep, or I thought he was kidding and that's why I videotaped him. I don't even remember that. But no ill will, no hatred here. I love the guy, even with a relationship. Didn't want him to die. So at best, I was negligent in not letting him out of the suitcase.
And what's the difference down in Florida for someone who's found guilty of negligent homicide versus second-degree murder? Is there a big difference?
Yeah, second degree, you're facing life. And manslaughter, negligent homicide, you're facing maybe 15 the way they're probably going to charge it, or what a jury may do, maybe less. A lot more is up to the judge as to what the judge can do to you in sentencing. Sentencing is always up to the judge, but much lower guidelines on a negligent homicide charge.
All right, Mark, you've been practicing law a long time. I'm not saying you're old. I'm just saying, you're experienced.
I'm experienced. Yeah.
Very experienced. Have you ever seen a factual scenario like this before? And is this just one of those situations that we're only going to find in Florida?
Well, I take umbrage to the fact that we only find it in Florida. But, Vinny, you know as well as I do that criminal defense lawyers have by far the best stories ever heard anywhere, from a cocktail party to a courtroom. You don't get these type of stories in any other practice of law or any other industry. So, no, I have not heard before I got in a suitcase voluntarily and she didn't let me out, speaking for the decedent defense, or her defense of he got in, I sort of fell asleep. The videos I just don't remember. Granted, Florida seems to be the home for many such stories, but I'm very interested to see, again, what the defense counsel is going to do, because I think, from my review of some of the facts of the case, that there was some violence in the history, and the cops had been called a lot. So we may hear something about why she would act so, what seems to be insensitively to this guy, if it turns out that there's some violence in their history.
Mark O'Mara, always great to get your insight. Thanks so much.
The same. Be well.